Welcome back to MPWF WAR, ladies and gentlemen. Again, my name is DJ Johnny Feelgood, and if this is your first time watching MPWF WAR, make sure you subscribe to this channel and check out all of our videos. This is one hell of a call league, but right now, we return from the break as Roscoe Jenkins, accompanied with his tag team partner Jim Jocko, who is accompanied to the ring, gets ready for singles competition. These guys have been going, as some might say, a little downhill in win-losses since MPWF TLC when they lost the tag team titles to the Gunna Society in a tables match, and they're looking to rebound here. Last week Jim Jocko lost a singles match to Shift, and now Roscoe Jenkins is looking to pick up a singles victory here tonight. We saw the altercation in the tag team division just now between the Super Sparxx Brothers and the Gunna Society. The Gunna Society earlier tonight was taken out, and the Super Sparxx Brothers were showing how much they reign supreme. But tonight Roscoe Jenkins certainly isn't facing anyone from the tag team division. Oh no, his opponent for tonight. His opponent is the Messiah of the MPWF. His opponent, ladies and gentlemen, is Joey Eagle. And Joey Eagle is still in an irate mood, even though his son is here in the arena tonight. It's father-son career day at Joey Eagle's son's high school. And while this is Joey Eagle's son's father's career here, Joey Eagle, a superstar here in the MPWF, a former world champion, multi-time world champion at that, a former internet champion, a former multi-time tag team champion. Joey Eagle has held every championship in the MPWF, achieved every accolade in the MPWF. But as of late, Vern Mongo, since after WrestleMania, has been a thorn in Joey Eagle's side, and Joey Eagle has not been able to get rid of that. He thought he did at Judgment Day, but to no avail. Vern Mongo returned at TLC and threw Joey Eagle off a ladder, which put him through 2 tables on the outside of the ring, which, as you can see, has Joey Eagle still banged up and still injured, and it cost Joey Eagle the World's Heavyweight Championship in that Fatal 4-Way TLC match. Joey Eagle has called out Vern Mongo. He wants him one-on-one in the ring once again, and it's up to we got to find out if Vern Mongo is going to show up, if Vern Mongo is going to appear. He has yet to appear since TLC, but Joey Eagle right now cannot focus on Vern Mongo. He's got to focus on the veteran Roscoe Jenkins. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a great match between two powerhouses here on MPWF WAR. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here in Omaha, Nebraska for MPWF WAR action. So here we go, a big opportunity here for the big man Roscoe Jenkins to knock off Joey Eagle. And Roscoe Jenkins has had his fair share of run-ins with Joey Eagle in the past before we were on YouTube. Like I said before, Roscoe Jenkins is the veteran here in the MPWF. Joey Eagle also a veteran. Roscoe Jenkins in the early goings of his career wasn't so much into gaining championship belts. He was into entertaining the fans and having a good time in the MPWF. But now Roscoe Jenkins, the situation with Vern Mongo is quite interesting right now. But Roscoe Jenkins, as of late now with Jim Jocko, has decided, you know what, I'm coming to near the end of my career and I need to win some championships. And they won the tag team titles beforehand in the MPWF, and now they're looking to get back some more gold here. Roscoe Jenkins would love to move up a spot here on the roster by taking out one of the top guys here on WAR in Joey Eagle. But Joey Eagle certainly isn't going to let that happen, no matter if he's injured or not. And now Roscoe Jenkins on the outside of the ring trying to regroup here as Joey Eagle is exciting this crowd. And Roscoe Jenkins now on the apron, now coming inside. And now both men here. Oh wait, Roscoe Jenkins talking smack to Joey Eagle, and Joey Eagle ain't having none of it. Joey Eagle going to fire off some rights and lefts there on Roscoe Jenkins. And you can bet that at the end of this matchup, Joey Eagle is going to call out Vern Mongo once again. And Roscoe Jenkins now with an elbow to the back of the head of Joey Eagle. And Roscoe Jenkins now with a shoulder block knocking down Eagle. Jim Jocko before this matchup, I mean, he spoke to some MPWF reporters and he said that, you know what, this is our opportunity tonight. If Roscoe Jenkins can pick up a victory over the Messiah of the MPWF, then maybe Roscoe Jenkins or me could get a shot at the US Championship and the tag team titles. Maybe we could take all the belts here in the MPWF. It's an interesting thing to think about. Now Roscoe Jenkins throwing Joe Eagle into the turnbuckle, and a big clothesline there by Roscoe Jenkins. Roscoe Jenkins, a singles championship has eluded him in his career, in his very long career, 10 plus years. And now Joe Eagle sent to the outside of the ring by Jim Jocko, and Joe Eagle's certainly going to have to watch out for Jocko on the outside, because trust me, he wouldn't mind getting himself involved in this contest. And a big shot to the back of the head there by Jenkins, but Joe Eagle knocking him away, and now catching him in a headlock, and a big knee there. You saw earlier tonight, Joe Eagle told his son to wait backstage. Joe Eagle said he's got some business to take care of, meaning Roscoe Jenkins, and then he'll come back and they'll go have a celebration with the Divas. It's going to be quite the day spent out with Joe Eagle's son. And now a shot to the knee there, and that's a smart move there by Joe Eagle to wear down the legs of Roscoe Jenkins. Roscoe Jenkins utilizes strength and power, and may be stronger and more powerful than Joe Eagle, but his length is also, just as his strength and his length is his advantage, is also his disadvantage. When you're as tall as Roscoe Jenkins, you have a lot easier, weaker knees than other superstars, and if Joe Eagle can work on those knees, he can really stop Roscoe Jenkins from gaining any offense. But that doesn't seem to be happening right now, as Roscoe Jenkins now setting Eagle up on the top turnbuckle here. And look at this nice body blow there to Joe Eagle to the side of his ribs, and you can see the pain Joe Eagle's in, and a big sidewalk slam there off the top rope, taking out the Messiah. And now going for the cover here, and that could be it. 1, 2, 3, and Roscoe Jenkins almost getting the 3 count there on Joe Eagle, and you can see Joe Eagle now taking deep breaths in the ring. That shot to these injured ribs really affected Joe Eagle. And now Roscoe Jenkins again. Now look at this. Now you may be thinking that if Roscoe Jenkins is working on the ribs, now why is he switching to the neck? If he can stop Joe Eagle from breathing, it's going to cause more pain on his ribs to try and get more air out of his body. And I mean, also, if you're not breathing, then you're susceptible to more moves like what Roscoe Jenkins is preparing for here, and a big Samoan drop, and that will affect the ribs even more of Joe Eagle. And now Roscoe Jenkins going for a cover here. 2, 3, and no, Joe Eagle gets the shoulder up one more time. And you see Roscoe Jenkins taking a different approach than Lamar James Jackson did last week. Now we go into the ropes now. Big power slam, and again working back at the back of those ribs. Smart moves there by the veteran Roscoe Jenkins, and Roscoe Jenkins happy with his actions right now. And now he has Joe Eagle around with a waistlock, and now Eagle twisting that wrist again. And now, Joe Eagle trying to fight back in any way possible, and there's a knee, and another knee now connecting with the face of Roscoe Jenkins. And you got Jim Jocko playing cheerleader on the outside of the ring, not happy right now that his boy is in trouble. And now Joe Eagle with a nice knee buster there. Now Roscoe Jenkins able to sidestep that, and now both men now engaged in the collar elbow tie-up, and we're going to see who's the stronger man here, and it is Roscoe Jenkins, and that could be because of the ribs. The ribs and the breathing may be affecting Joe Eagle in this matchup. And now back to that waistlock, and now Joe Eagle with the reversal is going to say that waistlock is very effective on the ribs, but Joe Eagle now with a drop toe hold right into the bottom rope. Smart move there by Joe Eagle, and now Joe Eagle, nice float over DDT there by the former World Heavyweight Champion. Now Eagle picking Jenkins up, and now going to throw him towards the ropes. Joe Eagle now, oh no, catching him with a headlock. Roscoe Jenkins in trouble. Joe Eagle now switching to that shin breaker. Nice move there by Joe Eagle. He will be setting up for that figure 4 leg lock. As we've said before, Joe Eagle loves to wear down the legs of his opponents. And now he's got Roscoe Jenkins up, and as you can see here, Joe Eagle going for a power slam and had to switch it to a backbreaker. Again, that was affecting the ribs of Joe Eagle. You could see him struggling with Jenkins in the air. And now Joe Eagle going for a nice Saito suplex there on Roscoe Jenkins. Now got him up here. A big kick to the gut there by Eagle. Now turning Jenkins around, and now Eagle is having his way with Jenkins. Right back to that leg again. And Joe Eagle is not deviating from that game plan. Joe Eagle is sticking to working on those legs, and a big spine buster there by the Messiah of the MPWF. And Roscoe Jenkins is in trouble, ladies and gentlemen, because Joe Eagle is setting up for one move right now, and he's about to hit it, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Eagle goes for the bloodline, and he drives Roscoe Jenkins face first into the mat. Jim Jocko knows that this one is over, because there's no way that Jenkins is kicking out of this one, and he doesn't. Joe Eagle, ladies and gentlemen, is victorious in this match. And again, another impressive victory for Joe Eagle here tonight. Joe Eagle, as you can see, he's not afraid to compete. He is still injured, and yet Joe Eagle is still competing here on WAR, and he is still picking up victories. I mean, Joe Eagle, he is a one-of-a-kind superstar, ladies and gentlemen. And again, these replays are brought to you by SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. This is your moment, ladies and gentlemen, and by Team Fortress 2. Play the game. So now you got to question what's next on Joe Eagle's agenda. What does Joe Eagle want to do now? Vern Mongo has yet to confront Joe Eagle, and Joe Eagle's been calling him out for about 2 weeks now. What will Vern Mongo do? What will Joe Eagle do? I mean, is there even a point to trying to call out Vern Mongo? Because who knows if he's going to show up. He so far hasn't showed up. I mean, what does Joe Eagle do right now? Well, I guess Joe Eagle's probably just going to go back and then meet with his son, and then meet with the MPWF Divas and end this evening in a good way. But ladies and gentlemen, hang on a second, look at the screen. Look at the Titantron above, ladies and gentlemen. And speak of the devil, there's Vern Mongo on the Titantron in the parking lot. Everybody loves the parking lot tonight, apparently. Wait, what is Vern Mongo talking about? What is he taking from Joe Eagle? This doesn't make any sense. Oh, you have to be kidding me. That no good son. As if... No, I mean, Vern Mongo has just abducted Joe Eagle's son, and you can see Joe Eagle's irate. Joe Eagle running towards... To go and save his son there. And wait. Oh my goodness, what? Lamar James Jackson just hit Joe Eagle in the stomach with a table from out of nowhere. And what is Roscoe Jenkins doing? Why is Jenkins stopping Eagle from saving his son from Vern Mongo, and there's an STO on the stage? And this crowd here is booing Lamar James Jackson. And Lamar James Jackson, he's taking this loss from last week too far here. I mean, what is he doing there on the stage? Joe Eagle trying to save his son, and he's being stopped. Lamar James Jackson just appeared there with a table, and he's now beating the hell out of Joe Eagle. Oh, goodness. Lamar James Jackson, but why? And oh. That devastating backbreaker there by Lamar James Jackson. And now, oh, what is Jackson doing here? Jackson has Joe Eagle, and Joe Eagle is trying to fight back some way, somehow. Look at the right hand there by Lamar James Jackson. Joe Eagle is weak. Joe Eagle is an injured man, ladies and gentlemen. What a gut-wrench powerbomb there on the stage. There's no protection there, and Lamar James Jackson is beating up Joe Eagle, and I have absolutely no earthly idea as to why this is happening. And Lamar James Jackson with a knee to Eagle now, and we need some help out here. And somebody needs to go back there and stop Vern Mongo from doing what he's doing. Like, look at Lamar James Jackson with these wrestling suplexes on the stage. Every single shot affecting Joe Eagle in his ribs, and now throwing him ribs first into the table again. And now Lamar James Jackson still continuing this assault, this unprecedented assault for no reason on Joe Eagle. And now Lamar James Jackson got him up, and oh my goodness, he's going to go for that shoulder breaker again. No, sorry, back breaker one more time. And Joe Eagle's ribs are in a hell of a lot of pain right now. And now Lamar James Jackson moving that table. And he's now setting up over here. And oh my goodness, Joe Eagle is out cold. Joe Eagle is so weak right now. The amount of shots he's taking to his ribs at the hands of Lamar James Jackson is unbelievable. And now Lamar James Jackson has him up. And oh my gosh, a second gut-wrench powerbomb there by Lamar James Jackson. Another gut-wrench powerbomb on the stage, and now Jackson has him up for the running power slam on the stage. I mean, for God's sake, will someone stop this? Now a gut-wrench powerbomb sending Joe Eagle through the table, and Joe Eagle may be broken in half. Now look at this, Vern Mongo leaving the arena. Joe Eagle's son's in that damn car. Will someone get backstage there and stop Vern Mongo from abducting Joe Eagle's son? Joe Eagle, he's out cold. He can't do anything about it, and Vern Mongo's just left the arena.